Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to set up a DCC-EX command station. Today on Model Railroading with Bill Masters. Here is my DCC-EX command station. I have spent the past couple of weeks putting this together, messing with it, doing experiments, and I feel I'm to the point now where I can show you how to do it. I'm going to show you actually the express setup, a quick way to get this assembled and get the software on it. Actually, in Arduino world they call them sketches, so we'll get the sketch on there. It's actually pretty simple. There's some things you're gonna need. Let me show you. The first thing we need is an Arduino Mega or compatible. This is a compatible that I'm showing you right here. This is made by Elegoo, and I have not had any problems with it. It's a bit cheaper if you go with a compatible. You of course can buy these on Amazon. Next you're gonna need a motor shield. This one is an EX Motor Shield 8874. You can buy this on the DCC-EX.com website directly, or on Amazon you can just purchase a standard motor shield. The difference is on the motor shield that you get from DCC-EX, and here forward I'm going to call it DCC-EX, is this motor shield is capable of putting out up to 5 amps on your layout. This motor shield is only capable of putting out 1.5 amps. So you're obviously going to want to use this unless you got just a very small shelf layout. The one from DCC-EX, it took about 3 weeks for this one to come in. So there's some wait time. This one I ordered on Amazon, I had it within 3 days. So it depends on how patient you are. You can order one of these on Amazon to get you started if you want. That's what I did. And then when this one arrived, I put it on. What I am gonna show you tonight is the motor shield from DCC-EX. And I will mention one thing about what you're gonna need to do if you're using this shield so you don't fry your Arduino. Next, you're going to need an X Wi-Fi shield 8266. You can also get this off of the DCC-EX website. This is an OLED display. I went through setting it up and I just don't really use it. I don't need it. So I'm not going to show you how to set that up in this video. There are other videos that show you how to set it up out there. You can watch them. This is the express installation, so we'll not worry about that. To connect the X Wi-Fi shield 8266, you're going to need 2 jumpers. These actually come with the Wi-Fi shield that you order from the DCC-EX website, so you should have some of those if you order it with that. If not, highly recommend. You're going to need a whole bunch of jumpers anyway. I highly recommend buying a variety, male to female, female to female, male to male. You're gonna need them, but not for this setup right here. Let's get started. We're gonna attach the motor shield to the Arduino. If you're using the motor shield that you buy from DCC-EX, you don't need to do this step. But if you're using a motor shield that you got off of Amazon, you need to do this step so that you don't burn out your Arduino. On the back here, now I made a little modification to this board. Ignore these two. That was something I needed for another project, so that you won't see those on the boards that you buy. There is a pad right here that is it's a bridge that you need to cut. You need to cut right there with an X-Acto knife. This will keep your 12-volt power from this board from frying this board. You need to do that. But if you're using the DCC-EX motor shield, you do not need to do that. So nothing to cut there. This is ready to go. To connect these, You don't want them facing this direction, both facing the same direction. Your ports are all on this side. You got a barrel power connector here and a barrel power connector here. They want to go that way. You're going to want to line it up so that the furthest pin right here lines up with the A5 pin right here. You notice on the board there's a gap right there where there are no pins. So this actually lines up as far as the pins go. On the other side, your last pin is at RX, pin 0. So when you get that seated, push it together slowly because you don't want to bend the pins. Now they won't go down all the way. So you're going to end up with a little bit of gap like that. That is okay. Now we have our motor shield connected to the Arduino Mega. Now we're going to connect our Wi-Fi shield. Now it's oriented this way with the antenna towards the ports. This pin here is going to go into the A5 channel there. On this side, you're going to end up with SCL1 and SDA1 empty, and then align it so that it fits. Push it on slowly. If your Wi-Fi shield has any jumper pins here, set them off to the side, just like the way you see this here. You don't want the jumper pins connected any other configuration, or you can just remove the jumper pins completely, use them somewhere else. Okay, let's hook up some jumpers here. Starting with a violet jumper, I'm going to hook up the male end to TX1 on the Arduino board, and the female end I'm going to hook up to ESP_RX, and we'll go for pins 0. And then the black jumper I'm going to hook up to RX1, and then the female end I'm going to hook up to ESP_TX1. Now I'm going to power it up. This is your USB connection. It is a Type B. That's going to go right here, and the other end is already connected to my computer. And then I've got a 12 volt 5 amp power supply. And if you're using this type of board, you won't be able to plug that in. So what you'll need is a barrel adapter, and so that you can hook up these wires into the screw terminal. The power goes here, and then you can see actually on the DCC-EX board that they make, they put a nice barrel connector on there for you. Your Arduino Mega is going to be getting power from the motor shield when it's all hooked up. You do not need, for this setup, a barrel connector for power on this Arduino. We're just going to go with the USB. It goes there. For this point forward, I'm not going to need any close-ups on the controller board. I have already taken the time to set up my connections for my test track and for my main track. For my main track, I've chosen to use blue wire and white wire. For my test track, I've chosen to use red wire and black wire. And so that just connects like this. So for here, you can see this is labeled A. Well, you could if I hadn't backed the camera out, but this I'm going to plug in my main track right there. And so I already have DCC-EX installed on that. So as soon as I hooked it up, the train fired up. So if this were a brand new board right out of the box, that train would not have come on. So let's move over to the computer, because the rest we're going to do is we're going to install the DCC-EX installer and put everything we need onto this unit. Okay, so now it's time to install our software, and we need to get our software from the DCC-EX website. To get to that website, go to DCC-EX.com, and when you get there, you'll come up with this page right here. We're going to go to the downloads section, and that is right there. And what we want is the Ex-CommandStation, so I'm going to download that. And my system, find the file that's right for your system. I am using Windows 64-bit, and so I will download that. Let's see, I already downloaded it, so it's putting a nice little 1 right there. So these are actually both the same. Let me just delete that one, and I'll click on this one. Okay, and so that's what you come up with. Let me close out this website. Don't need it anymore. All right. So, it's pretty straightforward nowadays. They've taken all the complexity out of it. It's all menu driven now. So there's really only one option we can check here. Let's click on Arduino CLI. Now, somewhere along one of these points, if you didn't already have the Arduino CLI installed, it would prompt you to download it. I already have it, unfortunately, so I can't show you that part, but let me just click on refresh. It's as easy as the installation is basically just doing that. So, all right. So now I'm gonna leave these as default. Now I'm gonna select my device. It's gonna scan for my device. I plugged it in. You saw me plug it in previously. And it found it. It found it on COM 9. And so I'm gonna select it. Now we're gonna select the product to install. And what we want this is all we're going to be dealing with today, is the DCC-EX Ex-CommandStation. So click on that. And right here, for now, we're going to leave all this default. Okay, so here is where you're going to have to change some things. If you have an OLED display or an LCD display, you would need to click on that and then configure it to which one you have. In this tutorial, I'm not showing you how to install that, so we'll just leave that unchecked. We are doing Wi-Fi. We have a Wi-Fi board installed, so let's enable that, and we'll go over to Wi-Fi options. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use it as an Ex-CommandStation for your use the Ex-CommandStation as your access point. The other option allows you to connect it to your home Wi-Fi and access the board from other computers. I have not done that. Personally, I like using it as the Ex-CommandStation. The Ex-CommandStation as the access point. So I'm just going to show you how to do that in this tutorial. You need, for a password, can't be any less than 8 characters. So I'm going to do test, and I'll change that later to something I'll remember, but for the sake of this demonstration. All right, so nothing to hit save there or anything, but we don't want to hit the back button. We want to go back to this general tab right here. So when you click Wi-Fi options, it's all saved there. So we do not have Ethernet in this case. We do not want to configure track manager. I am gonna start with the power on. So when your Arduino is powered up, it would automatically turn on power to your track. If you don't want that, if you want to turn it on manually, just leave that unchecked. Okay. Override current limit, not gonna do that. Create a myautomation.h. Let's go ahead and do that because I'm gonna be using that a lot in future videos. And I'd like to show you how to, so we're gonna need that enabled. Then let's check the advanced config. And then let's select the motor driver that we have. Now, if you're using the motor shield that I used, the one that we bought from DCC-EX, we're going to check this. If you're going to use a motor shield that you bought off of Amazon, you're going to use just a standard motor shield. I'm going to check the EX8874 _ because that's what I have. All right, so let's go to advanced config. And so you can see that if you wanted to change your password, at this point, you could. I'm not exactly sure if it's worth changing the rest of these, but I'm going to go ahead and change it. I haven't seen it showing up anywhere. And then host name, I'm going to set mine to LVR_dev. Because this is my, because this is my development shield, my development console. My development board, that's the word I was looking for. All right, so now let's compile and load. All right, so now we're gonna click on load. And it's gonna go through and compile the program, the sketch in the background. It's basically doing right now what the Arduino IDE would be doing for you, but they've got it built into this software, their install program. Which is pretty nice. So you don't have to bring up the Arduino IDE anymore. But you can if you want. Okay, it's loaded. And now it tells me, congratulations, that's what you want to see. All right. So at this point now, we're going to back up our configuration because once we close this window, that configuration is gone and we won't be able to bring it up again. It's still on the Arduino, but if you want to make changes to it, you won't. You'll have to compile it all over again. So I'm gonna click backup configuration and let's see. I'm gonna store it in. I've already gone through this once before, so I have to just choose where you want to install that backup to. Select folder, and then backup files. Now, so I already had some files in it because I did a dry run of this before I started recording. So I am going to click overwrite. If you don't have the backup files in there already, you wouldn't get this message. You would just click OK. All right, so it says backup successful. Now my screen's kind of jumping around like that because I'm saving to a cloud, and I don't save locally on my computer anymore. All right, so this is it. This is all. We are done with this. Let's go back over to the Arduino. All right. Now you can use JMRI. I'm using EngineDriver, and I've already got it installed. If you want to install it, just go to App Store and or Play Store and search for EngineDriver. Install it. This is the icon that you're looking for when you install it. Now I'm finding what I have to do first with this is I need to go to my settings, connections, and Wi-Fi, and then I need to actually connect to, and there it is, DCC-EX. See, now I thought I was naming that LVR_dev, so I'm not really sure where that. It always seems to come up DCC-EX underscore and then some letters. So I'm going to connect to that. My password I put was test. Make sure you got it right. Test. Auto reconnect doesn't seem to happen all the time when you don't have internet access to it. It is checking the quality of the internet, and so I always get this screen when I come up. Can't really seem to make that go away, but we are connected now. So now we need to connect EngineDriver to the server on the Arduino. So now I go to the home screen. I'm going to open up EngineDriver, and let's see, it found this server right here. So we're going to connect to it. You can see connecting. And connected. All right, let's see. The address for this loco is DCC address 1. That is what the address for this locomotive is. Acquire. And so let's ring the bell. There we go. Bell is off. Sound the horn. Turn on the headlight. You can't see it, but it's on. You might be able to see a little bit there. And now it's off. You can go, well, for this I'm going to move the phone a little bit. You can go forward. And you can go reverse. And it came off the track. I didn't have it on the track right. Anyway, but you get the general idea. Yeah, so if you want to use JMRI, there are videos out there from other content creators that you can go to find out how to set that up. You don't have to use your phone. This concludes this tutorial. That is the express way to set up DCC-EX CommandStation and use it with EngineDriver. So, all right. Next videos that I will do will kind of expand on this a little bit, but we needed to have this basic setup before I could move on. So, all right. Have a good weekend. Weekend? Is it? What is today? Today is Thursday. I'm on vacation, folks, so I don't know what day it is anymore. All right. Talk to you later.